Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Season of Arrivals intel. And in this video, I'm going to be taking you through a pretty awesome God Mode glitch. You might have seen some things kicking around on the tubes about this already, but if you don't do it correctly, it can be more of a hassle than a time saver or an advantage. So I'm going to take you through all the specifics of this glitch, and a way that I've gotten it to work pretty much on command. This glitch is going to allow you to farm out Grandmaster Nightfall loot, which is super awesome, especially heading into the latter part of this season. I'm going to get to all the information regarding this God Mode glitch in just 1 second, but first I just want to remind everybody I'm still doing the giveaway on my YouTube channel. The next one will be at 30,000 subscribers. All you have to do to be entered into that giveaway, or any other giveaway on this YouTube channel, is like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, the bell that's right next to the big red subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. And as always, if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag, or sometimes I'll do a trivia question. You can leave the answer or the hashtag in the comments section to be entered into that giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, those secret hashtags or trivia question answers, they stack between all videos, so if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, why not go back, check out another video, and of course do it again. Okay, so God Mode glitch, what does that mean? Well, there's two glitches that you can currently use in this week's Nightfall Ordeal, which is Savathun's song. There's a couple of cheese spots you can use at the end, which I talked about in a previous video, which I will have linked somewhere. I would suggest you go check that out. But in this one, we're going to be specifically focusing on a God Mode glitch. Now, this can only be done, so far as I know, on a Titan with Bubble. So that is Top Tree Sentinel class. And essentially it works similar to when we went over last week for the Corrupted Strike. But it requires you finding a good load zone and essentially activating your super while you're going through the load zone. Now, it sounds simple enough, and in some ways it is, but the timing can be somewhat finicky, and if you don't do it correct, you're just going to end up wasting a lot of your time. I would really only suggest doing this if you are attempting a Grandmaster, or at the very least a 1080 Nightfall Ordeal. Simply because in those, you're not really going to be racing against time, and most people who are doing a 1050 or a 1020 just through matchmaking are more than likely just going for a 100k score or a quick run to just finish out their pinnacle for the week. So doing this, you're really not going to be helping them very much. But as you can see, once you've made your way into this section and jumped up the wall, as you saw me struggling to do for the first part of this video, you're going to make your way out of the map. You're going to need a sword, and doing a few sword lunges at the top is really where it's going to be the biggest hassle. They'll then make your way to this load zone. Now, I do suggest attempting this particular glitch at that load zone, as it is a fairly slow one, and slow load zones are really going to be what you want. Attempting it there also has the benefit, if you fail to actually activate it there, you'll have another load zone backup that you can attempt it again later, and it's really not going to affect your teammates all that much. I would only suggest one person doing this for any Grandmaster run. But essentially what you're going to want to do is activate your super as you go through one of these load zones. There was a second one there as you enter this section, and there was the first one in the add a map section. Activating your super while you're going through one of these load zones, specifically the bubble, so that requires you holding your super activation longer so you don't get the Sentinel Shield Titan super rather than the actual bubble super, because it's going to require the bubble super, will give you a bonus damage resistance for the remainder of this strike, so long as you don't pick up any of the oracle nodes that you have to deposit, such as in this room and the next room. and essentially make you a roaming nuke. You can pretty much go up and one-shot melee almost everything, but beyond that, you're going to be taking a ton more damage. And you're going to get a large majority plus an overshield of your health back on every single melee kill. If you combo this with a sword, you're pretty much indestructible. Now again, I would only suggest doing this on one character, as you're going to need at least 2 people to interact with the surroundings that won't be available if you're doing this with more than 2 characters. Though I could see a 2-character attempt if obviously you both have to be running Titans, but make sure that you have at least one person who isn't doing this glitch, because, well, it's going to waste a lot of time, and though 3 people could do it, you're really going to sort of run the ground of benefits versus cost if you go that far. I did also talk about the ghosting glitch, which is even simpler. All that requires is going back to the Contact public event, which is also on Titan, as well as this strike this week, and picking up one of the motes that you would normally deposit into the bank. These are required from simply just killing one ad. You pick up a mote, and during the whole first section, that first room where we actually get out of the map for this particular glitch, that is the God mode glitch, you won't have any reaction by the ads to your presence. So essentially you're invisible. You can do damage to them and they won't react. The only downside is that if you're not doing enough damage, all the damage or health that you take from all the ads will regenerate. But if you do enough damage in a short enough period of time, you can still eliminate all the ads in that room without even them acknowledging your presence. So that's also a big benefit if you're doing this for a Grandmaster run. I would actually suggest all 3 players going and picking up a mote, as time is not really going to be that much of a relevant factor. The downside is that once you've completed that room, you will not be able to scan the door to head into the next room, which is the green room where you get the giant unstoppable ogre, as well as I believe there's 2 unstoppable knights or 2 barrier knights in that room. 2 champions nonetheless. So you won't be able to actually progress into that room while you're in the ghosting glitch. So what I would suggest is one of your players at that point kill themselves and respawn in that room. It's very simple. Just blow yourself up with a rocket or some other large explosion. Have your teammates respawn you. You won't have the ghosting glitch anymore, and you'll be able to actually scan the door and head into the next section. At that point, I would suggest the 2 people who still have the ghosting glitch eliminate all the enemies in the green room without actually entering the green room, because as soon as you enter, the glitch will be over. So stay out of the green room and just shoot through those 2 doors. Have your other teammate who scanned the doors maybe back up all the way to the beginning of the room, so that all the ads in that room, all the unstoppables or barriers, will just sort of sit in there and allow you to shoot at them, and they won't actually move, they won't actually shield, they won't do anything, they'll just take damage. Once you've cleared that room, I would suggest sending at least the 1 character or 1 player who is a Titan, and again, you're going to need a bubble Titan for this, with a sword, out of the map, get the God mode glitch running, and then head back in. Again, you're going to have 2 chances. There's 2 loading zones. You have to go through both of them to actually get back into the map. So I would suggest using both to your advantage to try to attempt this. If you don't get it on the first loading zone, you'll have to wait for your super, of course. But again, if you're just trying to complete a Grandmaster and time is not really that relevant, you can simply wait by that second door before you actually enter the zone after the green room to get your super, and then attempt it as you're going through the door after the green room once again. So essentially giving you 2 chances to try to get this correct. Don't pick up any of these motes. They'll immediately cancel it out and you won't be able to get it back. The way you'll know it's working is your footprints will be purple. That's the only way of knowing. You don't have to hold on to a sword. You can switch weapons, but you'll know because you'll have purple footprints or glowing footprints rather than the normal ones. But if you pick up any of the nodes, you'll lose it instantly. So don't do what I just did here. Otherwise, you'll be able to hold on to this for the entirety of this particular strike. And like I said, this is going to really come in handy, especially for people who are going for the Grandmaster or Platinum Nightfall Ordeals. So towards the end of the season, when we will have our rotational Grandmasters and the seal for completing all of them, which the name escapes me at the moment, but leave that down in the comments section if you remember the actual seal name. This is really going to be where this comes in handy. So a little bit of forethought if this ends up being one of the Grandmaster Nightfall Ordeals towards the end of the season. I don't know if it's already been designated as one or if it's just the rotation for this week. I'm not actually sure how that works, I have to admit, whether or not they are rotating the ones that will ultimately be there towards the end of the season, or if that's going to be all randomized as well, or if it's actually all the strikes all together and it requires you completing every single one at Grandmaster. I believe last season there was only 5. So I believe it's going to be a random 5 again this season. But again, leave that down in the comment section if you have any more info on that specific subject, as it kind of escapes me a little bit as far as all the specifics on how that works. But I do know there's going to be 5. This is going to be possibly one of them. And we had the Corrupted Strike last week, so glitches like the Ghosting glitch or a God Mode glitch are really going to come in handy once it is time to actually go for that seal. So thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you found all this information helpful. As far as doing this solo, there is a way you can, of course, glitch in with the God Mode and the Ghosting and actually move into the next zone past the green room. So there is a way you can bypass that room before your teammates. And though you would think it might give you a head start on the next rooms, all it really does is allow you to go to the room where you would have to deposit the first node. The green screened hive door will still be up and it won't allow you to bypass that section. Anything that actually requires you depositing a moat or scanning any piece of environment will stop you, even if you can get past the loading zones. So though you could use this for certain solo areas, for example doing this room and then maybe completing it to a certain extent, I would really suggest this is best used when you're doing it in a group and doing high level Nightfalls 1080 or above. So for the secret hashtag, you can leave in the comments section for today's video. Leave a hashtag God Mode glitch or a hashtag Season of Arrivals or a hashtag Grandmaster Loot Farm. Any of those I'll accept. And if there's anything else you could think of that's a clever enough hashtag for this video, leave it in the comment section, as well as any of the things that we talked about. Leave a comment down below. I really do love hearing from the audience. I don't talk about it too often, but we also do have a fairly good Discord community that has sprung up, honestly, without me knowing, around this channel. I just sort of made the Discord community and people started joining, and it's actually really great. Awesome to see a lot of people in there actually communicating on their own, posting content, as well as helping each other out with things like Nightfalls or raids, or any other just sort of weekly activity. A lot of people out there I know are playing solo more often than not, and there's a lot of things that are only accessible in a group, so feel free to join up on the Discord community, which is also linked in the description box. Maybe play a game with me, or just find some other good community members. And as always, I am Wilhelm Scream. Thank you so much for watching. As always, we will see you in the next video. Later!